Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be staying at Manchester United until the end of the season, regardless of what happens. Because Antonio Conte has gone to Tottenham. Don't forget, Conte was linked with a managerial role at Manchester United. I'm disappointed that Manchester United are not getting Antonio Conte. Now I presume some pressure has eased off Solskjaer, reflecting on that 3-0 win against Tottenham on Sunday. But Solskjaer will be under some pressure still because it's only one game. It was a good performance against Tottenham. Obviously the goals came from Cristiano Ronaldo, Edison Cavani and Marcus Rashford. And I had to give Solskjaer credit for the tactical changes he made. In the game against Tottenham, Solskjaer went with the 3-5-2 formation. And from now on, I'd love Solskjaer to go with that formation on a regular basis, but he's going to find it difficult to stick with that formation, revert back to what I've said before. I think he'll stick with the 3-5-2 formation though in the game against Atalanta tomorrow in the Champions League group stage. But after the game against Tottenham, Solskjaer did say that the experience was key in Man United's win over Tottenham. And Solskjaer hinted that the Cavani and Ronaldo partnership will be staying. It was a crucial victory for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer against Tottenham. If Manchester United would have lost to Tottenham, then there'd have been a good chance that Solskjaer would have been sacked. Manchester United responded very well from the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool the other week. Because there was reports after that 5-0 defeat to Liverpool saying that there was players losing faith in the manager, and obviously Solskjaer was losing the fans, and Solskjaer said himself after that game against Liverpool that it was his darkest day as a manager, and also Solskjaer refused to resign. Ed Woodward refuses to sack Solskjaer. Many at Manchester United were sure that Solskjaer would have been sacked, especially after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. If Manchester United did decide to eventually sack Solskjaer, they'd have to pay Solskjaer $7.5 million. Because in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And we certainly made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract, because I can assure that he won't see it out. And a lot of Manchester United fans will agree with me in that aspect. Solskjaer's been in charge of Manchester United now for almost 3 years. And reflecting now on his being Manchester United manager, he's gained some managerial experience and he's learned a few different things on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he is still a young coach. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager, and I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. But I just feel as though that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer as Manchester United manager, and I think Solskjaer has lowered the standards at the club as manager, and he's in a position that he shouldn't be in. I hate to say this regarding Solskjaer, but I'm just being realistic. And my perceptions have not changed on him, despite the 3-0 win against Tottenham. I am still Ollie out, just like a lot of Manchester United fans are. I'm not going to change my perception on the manager after one game. If we was to go on a 10, 11 game winning run from now, then my perceptions would start to change on him. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. And he's not capable of winning trophies as Manchester United manager. I hope I'm proven wrong. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But there's a lot of United fans that have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. Analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. And my other concern about him is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. But I adore Solskjaer a lot, just like a lot of Man United fans do, for what he's done for the club. Solskjaer is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. And the reason he's lasted as long as he has done, Solskjaer, is because he's a club legend. Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager in December 2018. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. He got the job on a permanent basis, reflecting now well he did as the interim manager. Now, Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. Spent around £141 million, brought 4 signings in, brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa, brought Sancho in from Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager. He received strong backing in the summer transfer window as well. John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer, and the Glazers backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. And Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title-winning squad, like I've mentioned before, so in reality, Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And at the start of this season, Solskjaer did mention that his ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. So there you go. So reflecting on what I've just said, Solskjaer has no more excuses. Reflecting on the poor performances and the poor results and that we've had, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer, like I've mentioned before. Obviously, Solskjaer is accountable for certain things, but there's also players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances and poor results. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson, because Manchester United have sacked 3 managers since Ferguson, sacked David Moyes, sacked Louis van Gaal and sacked Jose Mourinho. And Manchester United are not even really known as a sacking football club because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. Now, Manchester United are going to offload players next year. Martial, I think he's going in January, because Martial doesn't really get in the team, plus he's no longer good enough to represent the club. He was out with injury, he's just come back from injury, he's part of the squad for the game against Atalanta, so maybe he'll play some part. He won't start, if he does play any part, he'll come on as a substitute. Before the start of this season, though, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial as he remains part of his plans. For some reason, Solskjaer seems to have a lot of trustworthy in Martial. Don't forget Solskjaer was the one that gave Martial that number 9 shirt. Martial's had one good season at Man United, I'd say, and that was his debut season under Van Gaal, and last season he was out with a knee injury for a while. Martial's been at Manchester United for 6.5 years now. He's got a contract with Man United till 2024, so 3 years left on his contract. We got him for like 54 million from Monaco back in 2015. Unfortunately, I think Cavani's going next year. I don't want Cavani to leave because Cavani has made an impact since he's come in. Cavani played in the game against Tottenham recently and he scored a very good goal. It was a lovely dink over Hugo Lloris. He also should have scored in the first half against Tottenham because he had a very good headed chance that just went wide. Cavani was playing alongside Ronaldo. That was very intriguing. They play well together. Earlier on this season, Cavani was out with injury. Cavani's got under a year left on his Man United contract. Back in May, he signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani's on over £200,000 a week. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him, Law. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. Not only that, he was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. Manchester United did get Cavani on a free transfer. I think this is Cavani's second full season at Man United. He's in his 30s now, obviously. I think Juan Mata is going next year because Juan Mata doesn't get in the team. Juan Mata's contract at Man United expires next summer because earlier on this year Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why we extended Juan Mata's contract for the further year. Because Juan Mata has lost that yard of pace, plus he's aging up. But despite all of that, I reckon he's had a good career at Manchester United. He's made over 200 appearances for Man United in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals. And he's been a long-serving player. Juan Mata has enjoyed like 7.5 years at the club. At the first part of last season, he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. And we got Juan Mata back in 2014 from Chelsea for 40 million. We brought him in under the David Moyes era. Mata can play as an attacking midfielder, he can also play as a right winger. I think Lingard's going next year. Well, as you all know, Lingard is intending on running down his contract because earlier on this season it said Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer because of 2 players. The other month it said Lingard rejected a Man United contract over playing time concerns. His current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. ESPN said earlier on this season that Lingard's a target for Barcelona and AC Milan. I think Solskjaer wants Lingard to stay at Manchester United. Lingard's played a few times this season, but he doesn't really get in the team, does he? He came on as a substitute in the 3-0 win against Tottenham on Sunday. The second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Donny van de Beek, he's going in January. because Van der Beek is not getting enough game time at Manchester United. Van der Beek played no part against Tottenham recently. Solskjaer should be starting Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League, because he's a good player, but like I said, I haven't had much of a perception on him at Man United. Obviously, before the Liverpool game, Solskjaer did admit that Van der Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford. To be honest with you, I don't think Solskjaer wants Van der Beek, because if Solskjaer wanted Van der Beek at Man United, he'd play him on a regular basis. But there again, we've got quite a few midfielders. Surprisingly, Matic is ahead of Van der Beek in our midfield. I would have never thought that when Van der Beek came in. But Van der Beek has endured a difficult 18 months at Man United. This season is his second full season, Van der Beek's. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million, with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. I think there's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. I think there's a good chance that Matic will be leaving next year. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities. Matic didn't start against Tottenham recently, but he did come on and he made an impact, and he got the assist for Marcus Rashford's 3rd goal. He's had his good games at Man United, Matic, but despite that, I've got my reservations about him, because he's always been a static midfielder, plus he's ageing up. Matic has been at Manchester United for like 4.5 years, got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. So yeah. Looks like Paul Pogba's leaving Manchester United next summer, because, like I updated you, Mark Ogden recently said that Man United are prepared to let Paul Pogba leave on a free transfer next summer, after accepting that the midfielder will not sign a contract. Now, I'm hearing that Pogba wants to join Juventus. There's been quite a few clubs in for Pogba. He's had a long-running transfer saga. Now, after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, Romano said that Pogba wants Solskjaer sacked, and Pogba snubbed Solskjaer after Liverpool defeat, so reflecting on that, contract talks were put on hold. But I'm disappointed Pogba's leaving by the looks of things, because, like I've said before, Pogba's a good player. He's not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Pogba can play against Atalanta tomorrow. Pogba has now got 2 games to serve in the league. Pogba got sent off in our 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. The reason he got sent off was for that 2-footed challenge on Naby Keita. Pogba didn't even start against Liverpool, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that, because I thought Solskjaer should have started Pogba against Liverpool. But so far this season, Pogba's provided 7 assists, and he produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. But at one point last season, he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's our most expensive signing at the moment, because we paid 89 million for him. We had him when he was a lot younger under Ferguson, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. I think Telles is going next year as well. Telles is a good left back. He's done well in the games he has played in for Man United, but I haven't really had much of a perception on Telles, because he doesn't really get enough game time, does he? Telles will only play when Luke Shaw's not available. Telles was out with injury earlier on this season. We got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million from Porto last year. I do think that Jones is going next year as well. I think Bailly's going next year. I think Dalot's going next year, and I think Dean Henderson is going out on loan next year. Because Dean Henderson can't get in goal now, can he? Because, like I mentioned before, De Gea reclaimed the #1 spot back. But revert back to Dean Henderson, he's been in goal for only one game this season, that was West Ham in the Cup. But don't forget, Dean Henderson was out with COVID for a while. So there you go. But like I say, we've got some very good players in our team. You know, you've got Ronaldo, who's the best player in the world overall. You know, you've got Marcus Rashford, that's also good. You know, Rashford's done well since he's come back, apart from the Liverpool game. Of course, he was poor against Liverpool. You've got Mason Greenwood, that's also very good as well. You've got Fernandes, that's good. You've got Cavani, that's good. You've got Sancho, that's good, but Sancho has endured a poor start to his Manchester United career. And reflecting on that, fans have started to get on his back. But like I said before, I think Solskjaer is to blame for Sancho's poor performances, because when Solskjaer plays Sancho, he persistently plays him out of position. But there's been quite a few games that Sancho hasn't even played in. And you know, you've got Donny van der Beek, that's a good player, but I haven't had much of a perception on him at Man United, because like I said earlier, he doesn't get enough game time. You know, I think that Paul Pogba's very, very, very good. You know, you've got Luke Shaw, that's also very, very good as well. You know, put a very good performance out against Tottenham recently. You've got Maguire, that's good when he wants to be. Maguire was good against Tottenham recently, to his credit. You've got Varane, that's a very good centre-half. You know, he made his return against Tottenham. Don't forget, he was out with a groin injury for a few weeks. You've got Baye, that's a good centre-half as well. Like I said, I'm a predicted 11. Baye, I think, will be starting this game. He'll be coming in for Lindelof, because Lindelof picked up an injury in training, so he's ruled out for the game against Atalanta. I prefer Baye ahead of Lindelof anyway, but Baye's initially lost his place in the team, obviously with the signing of Varane in the summer transfer window, and obviously Solskjaer seems to prefer Lindelof ahead of Baye. And Wan-Bissaka, good right back. You know, he was good against Tottenham recently. And you know, you've got De Gea, that's a very, very good goalkeeper. Done really, really well so far this season. You've also got Dean Henderson, that's a good goalkeeper as well. So yeah, we have got a good squad. And Manchester United need to start playing as a team on a regular basis. Because like pundits have said before, you know, Manchester United are a team of individuals. That's what's been letting Manchester United down. In regards to Solskjaer, obviously, he's signed 14 players so far as Manchester United manager. Manchester United have spent around 441 million, or is it more than that, under the Solskjaer era? It's definitely over 400 million pounds we've spent. You know, Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's coming. You know, he's loaned players out. You know, he's got rid of players permanently. Progress has been made under Ollie as well, because he's got us to semi-finals. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. Last season got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, and last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager, but unfortunately we didn't win it. And last season got us a second place finish, and his first full season got us a third place finish. And I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth as well. And Manchester United have been very good away from home in the Premier League under Solskjaer. You know, don't forget we went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League, but Leicester ended our 29-game unbeaten away run in the league. But we have been far superior away from home in the league than we have been at home. Manchester United have been very, very poor at home. So yeah, that's everything to update you with. On my next video, I'll be giving you my predictions for the Atalanta Man United game. You know, I'll be giving you my score prediction. I'll be giving you the goal scorers as well. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. My channel name is Red Devil 24 and take care. God bless. See you all again soon.